2 billion ringgit boost for Madani Community Fund possible in next budget. Dangerous level continuous heavy rain forecast in Kelantan, Terengganu. Hello, good evening, and Salam Malaysia Madani. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mohammed Amin Carlos, and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Well, the government will allocate 1 billion ringgit next year through the Madani Community Fund initiative for rural communities to start projects to boost their economy. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, who is also the Minister of Finance, said that through the initiative, each village longhouse and People's Housing Project, or PPR, will be allocated a maximum fund of 100,000 ringgit to start economic projects such as handicrafts or hydroponics.
Kita bagi wang dan penghulu, penggawa atau ketua kampung atau tuan rumah, dia akan adakan perjumpaan memutuskan apa projek ekonomi untuk kampung itu.
The Premier also said that he would like to see the villagers decide and run economic projects at a low cost, and added that the fund may be increased to 2 billion ringgit if it shows success. Speaking to officiate the Rural Entrepreneurs Carnival KUD at Pujajaya 2023 today, Datuk Sri Anwar said that if rural communities need help, they can contact various government agencies, including the Department of Agriculture or the Majlis Amanah Rakyat MARA. In conjunction with 1 year of the unity government administering the country, the Premier also invited the people to focus on the country's economic growth and ignore empty rhetoric. An Indonesian analyst has expressed admiration for the energetic leadership of Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim in driving a dramatic transformation in the country through Malaysia Madani. N. Shamsuddin Hazy, who is a political and cultural observer in Malaysia and also serving as the Secretary General of the Ikatan Setikawan Wartawan Malaysia Indonesia, or ISWAMI, in Indonesia, analysed how Datuk Sri Anwar, as the 10th Prime Minister, took bold steps in his first year and made strides in building trust and gaining support from all stakeholders. Now, in his article, 1 year of PMX, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim expanding the civil vision of Malaysia. Well, he wrote, the Premier's manifestation of the process involves active communication, transparent work processes, and empowering the team. Now, these elements, as per Shamsuddin, played a crucial role in achieving rapid success in the early days of Datuk Sri Anwar's administration. Shamsuddin perceives Malaysia Madani as an advanced nation that promotes global unity, equality, prosperity, humanitarian governance, and a shift towards serving the people rather than political power, with democracy aimed at national harmony. He also stated that Datuk Sri Anwar strategically laid the foundation for sustainable growth and excellence, as evidenced by the 2024 budget. Despite facing political challenges, he remains optimistic about realizing the vision of Malaysia Madani and encourages collective participation in shaping a new national vision. The Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, has expressed concern over the diminishing emphasis of tact and good manners, to the point where some people openly use harsh, obscene, slanderous, abusive and insulting language, even in places of worship. Well, he said that of late, this trend is not being ignored amongst the uneducated or those in lower social positions, but is being sidelined by educated, high-ranking individuals. The Sultan also said the use of harsh, obscene, slanderous, abusive and insulting language by certain individuals is also often done with pride and arrogance.
Berlaku bukannya di tepi-tepi jalan atau di pasar, tetapi berlaku di pentas, tempat dan dewan yang memiliki status kemuliaan, malah ada kalanya berlaku di tempat-tempat ibadah. Amatlah penting komponen rukun negara kelima, kesopanan dan kesusilaan, dijadikan sebahagian daripada input dalam program pengilmuan. agar elemen kesopanan dan kesusilaan difahami, dihayati dan diamalkan oleh warga.
Sultan Nazrin said that allowing individuals, particularly those in leadership positions, to engage in behavior involving mutual condemnation and insults is hazardous, as it holds the potential to foster animosity and kindle the flames of hostility. Well, dangerous level continuous heavy rain has been forecasted in several areas in Kelantan and Terengganu until Monday. The Malaysian Meteorological Department, or Met Malaysia, in a statement today said the areas affected in Kelantan are Tumpat, Pasir Mas, Kota Baru, Jeli, Tanah Merah, Bachuk, Machang, Pasir Putih and Kuala Krai. The statement read, in Terengganu, Besut, Setiu, Kuala Nerus and Kuala Terengganu and Marang are affected. Elaborating further, Met Malaysia also forecasted severe level continuous heavy rain during the same period in Hulu Perak, Guam Musang, Kelantan and Hulu Terengganu, Dungun and Kemaman in Terengganu. Alert level continuous rain is also forecasted in Perlis, Kedah, Pulau Pinang, the districts of Kerian, Larut, Matang and Selama, Manjung and Kuala Kangsar in Perak, as well as Jerantut and Kuantan in Pahang until 27 November. Well, the government has approved an allocation of about 20 million ringgit to increase the tactical assets of the Eastern Sabah Security Command, or ESCOM, at the country's border to strengthen security controls in the Eastern Sabah Security Zone, or S-Zone. Well, ESCOM Chief Officer Dr. Jamaluddin Muhammad Ali expressed hope that the acquisition of the assets, which included speedboats, could be realized by next year. The Semarak ESCOM program was held to enhance security awareness and increase the level of patriotism of residents in the S-Zone. Now, prior to that, Assistant Minister to the Chief Minister of Sabah, Dato' Nizam Abu Bakar Titingan, said that ESCOM's plan to improve the operation and control capabilities of the security forces is in line with the state and federal government's aspiration desire to boost the country's economy, thus ensuring a prosperous society. Dato' Nizam said ESCOM's role was not only to control security, but also to ensure the success of the various government agendas, as well as coordinate public action programs with the S-Zone community, including programs to improve the socio-economy of the residents. Deputy Education Minister Lim Hui Ying said all educational institutions have been ordered to tighten security as a precautionary measure following a series of fake bomb threats to schools nationwide.
Selagi ada report, kita akan terus memberitahu kepada PDRM dan keselamatan murid-murid dan warga sekolah diutamakan. Jadi kita ada garis panduan. Okey, memang garis panduan keselamatan dan semua sekolah telah diberitahu untuk mengetat lagi. Dan juga sekolah-sekolah juga akan diberitahu terutama pada masa ini untuk memastikan security sekolah diketatkan. Terutama jadi ada orang-orang yang kita tidak kenal, mesti ketatkan security di semua institusi pendidikan.
Well, yesterday, Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department Director Dato' Sri Muhammad Suhaili Muhammad Zain said that since last Tuesday, police had received 51 reports regarding fake bomb threats involving 18 schools in Selangor, Kuala Lumpur with 7, 6 in Johor, 3 Negeri Sembilan, 4 in Pulau Pinang, 5 in Sarawak, 3 in Perak, 2 in Sabah and 3 in Kedah. He said 10 investigation papers were also open according to Section 507 of the Penal Code and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. Coming up in our business segment, KUD at Putrajaya 2023 records over 600,000 visitors thus far. Well, the government still has a balance of funds from Budget 2023 involving development expenditure, or DE, as well as operating expenditure, which should be put to use until the end of this year. Now, Deputy Finance Minister Dato' Sri Ahmad Mazlan said the remaining allocation channel through the budget involve development 18% and 8% for operating, with a total of 388.1 billion ringgit. Well, commenting further on the matter, the Deputy Minister said as of Thursday, 26 ministries have used up to 82% for development expenditure and 92% for operating expenditure. Well, as such, he said the ministries need to finish the balance 100% of Budget 2023 before December 31st. Meanwhile, on the 2022 Auditor General's report, or 2022 LKAN, the Deputy Minister regretted the loss of 681.71 million ringgit of public money and considered it a big sum when the people had hope that projects planned by the ministry would be implemented. Dato' Sri Ahmad, who is also the Member of Parliament for Pontian, said that based on the 2022 LKAN report, all 26 ministries need to take note of this year's 2023 expenditure under the unity government so that the matter does not happen again. Well, the Plantation and Commodities Ministry, or KPK, in collaboration with Petronas Dagangan Berhad, or PDB, aims to collect 90,000 kilograms of used cooking oil involving the participation of 6,000 members of the public by the end of this year. Well, Deputy Prime Minister and KPK Minister Dato' Sri Fadillah Yusof said in order to achieve the target, the used cooking oil collection program at Petronas stations will be expanded to the company's petrol stations nationwide in stages. Well, commenting further on the matter, the Deputy Premier said in 2024, KPK aims to expand to 50 Petronas stations nationwide with a target total collection of 528,000 kilograms and the participation of 40,368 members of the public. Well, it said the effort to collect used cooking oil is also a proactive step by Petronas in preparation to commercialize sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF, to meet the demands of the carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation, or CORSIA. Now, the used cooking oil collection program aims to give awareness to the community about the importance of recycling used cooking oil in order to protect the environment and open up opportunities to generate additional income for households. The initiative, which was launched last 18 July at the Petronas station in Putrajaya, has now been expanded to 33 Petronas stations nationwide, with 2 of them in Sarawak, namely Petronas Astana, Kuching, and Petronas Desa Senadin, Miri. Well, the Malaysia Petroleum Resources Corporation, or MPRC, will introduce the National Oil and Gas Service and Equipment, or OGSE, Sustainable Framework by the end of 2024, which will provide a detailed guide for how OGSE companies can implement and report on their sustainability practices. Now, MPRC President and Chief Executive Officer Muhammad Yazid Jafar said the National OGSE Sustainability documents mark the first of its kind tailored to the need of the OGSE industry. Now, elaborating further on the matter, Muhammad Yazid said MPRC hopes the framework that will help simplify and provide clarity to OGSE companies which face resource constraints in adopting and disclosing sustainability practices. Well, he said he shared that 2 sustainability targets outlined in the OGSE blueprint have already made good progress. Well, firstly, from an initial target of 70 companies to voluntarily report on their sustainability practices by the year 2030, and 81 out of the country's top 100 OGSE companies have already done so. Now, the other progress was 1 company from a target of 5 companies has been included in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index. Looking ahead, he said MPRC aspires to see more OGSE companies embracing sustainability practices, contributing to the ongoing positive momentum in the industry. Well, the Rural Entrepreneurs Carnival, or KUD, at Putrajaya 2023 entered its 4th day today and recorded more than 600,000 visitors. And speaking to reporters after the opening ceremony of the carnival today, well, Deputy Rural and Regional Development Minister Dato' Rubiah Wang said she was optimistic that the target of 1 million visitors would be reached based on the encouraging response from various walks of life.
Kita telah pun orang kata coba menunjukkan juga beberapa inisiatif kementerian, antaranya rural tourism yang telah dilaksanakan oleh semua agensi kita, dan kita boleh lihat bagaimana peranan agensi kita seperti Perda, Ketengah, Kejora, Kedah, yang telah pun memperlihatkan rural tourism ni merupakan satu sektor pembangunan ekonomi luar bandar yang mempunyai potensi yang tinggi. Bukan saja dari sudut orang kata pengunjung, tetapi dalam masa yang sama dapat memberi peluang pekerjaan, dapat mencernakan orang kata meningkatkan pendapatan masyarakat luar bandar.
Well, sharing hopes for the organization of KUD at Putrajaya 2023, which is entering its 9th edition, Dato' Rubia wants all participating entrepreneurs to benefit and take the opportunity to get guidance and advisory services from various agencies under the ministry to increase productivity and grow their respective businesses. KUD at Putrajaya 2023, officiated by Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim at Anjung Floria, will draw its curtain tomorrow, participated in by more than 800 rural entrepreneurs with a target of 1 million visitors and transactions of 10 million ringgit in cash and business matching. Well, the Malacca government will be featuring the uniqueness of the culture and heritage of various ethnics in the state, such as Baba Nyonya, as well as Chetty, in the promotion of Visit Malacca Year 2024 or VMY 2024. Now, Chief Minister Dato' Sri Abdul Rauf Yusof said a special program will be held to look into the facets and uniqueness of the Peranakan community in Malacca through several performances in the main programs of VMY 2024, as well as in the exhibition at the Cultural Museum. He said the community of Baba Nyonya has a way of life and tradition of a unique combination of Malay and Chinese influences in daily life, including food, clothing, and being fluent in Malay. Dato' Sri Abdul Rauf said the state government is committed and will continue to provide support and assistance to all parties involved in empowering art, heritage, and culture in Malacca. While speaking to the media after officiating the opening ceremony of the 34th Baba Nyonya International Convention today, he said the organization of the convention, which was attended by about 500 participants, involving Baba Nyonya's delegation from 5 countries, namely Australia, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia and Malaysia, was seen as a right step to empower the heritage, culture and tradition so that they are not swallowed up by time. Coming up in our foreign segment, Hamas, Israel to free new wave of hostages. Well, Hamas fighters are set to release a new wave of hostages soon in exchange for Palestinian prisoners, officials said, offering hope to anguished families after 7 weeks of war that have killed thousands of people. Now, key mediator Qatar was expected to announce the numbers of prisoners and hostages to be freed soon in the second swap, since a 4-day ceasefire came into effect on Friday and largely silenced the guns on both sides. Well, Israeli occupation forces said that 14 hostages being held in the Gaza Strip since 7 October would be released on Saturday, as well as 42 Palestinian prisoners on the second day of truce deal. Now, on Friday, the first day of the truce, Hamas released 24 hostages, according to key mediator Qatar, in an official Israeli list. They comprise 13 Israelis, all of whom were women and children, including some dual citizens, 10 Thais and 1 Filipino. Israel, in turn, freed 39 women and children from its prisons. U.S. President Joe Biden, meanwhile, also urged a broader effort to emerge from the crisis with a viable Palestinian state alongside Israel. Meanwhile, many joyful but wary Palestinians emerged from makeshift shelters at the start of the 4-day Gaza ceasefire to begin the long journey back to their homes. In the southern town of Khan Yunis, which has been housing thousands of displaced families, including from heavily bombarded northern Gaza, streets were packed with people on the move. Hundreds were heading towards the north, despite Israel dropping leaflets warning them not to go back to an area it described as still being a dangerous war zone. Men, women and children carried their belongings in plastic bags, shopping bags and rucksacks. The United Nations says around 2/3 of Gaza's 2.3 million residents are homeless, including most of the population of Gaza City and the rest of the northern half of the enclave, reduced to a wasteland by Israel's assault. Khan Yunis, the main city in the south, has also not proved safe. Many of its buildings are now in rubble, destroyed by Israeli strikes. Well, Ukraine's capital suffered what officials said was Russia's largest drone attack of the war on Saturday, leaving 5 people wounded as a rumble and rubble of air defenses and explosions woke residents at sunrise. Well, the attack began hitting different districts of Kiev in the early hours of Saturday, with more waves coming as the sun came up. The air raid warning lasted 6 hours. Now, Air Force Chief Mykola Oleshchuk said 74 of the 75 drones launched at Ukraine had been downed. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said the attack had injured 5 people, including an 11-year-old girl, and damaged buildings in districts all across the city. He added that fragments from a downed drone had started a fire in a children's nursery. The target of Saturday's attack was not immediately clear, but Ukraine has warned in recent weeks that Russia will once again wage an aerial campaign to destroy Ukraine's energy system, as it sought to do last winter. Now, Ukraine's energy ministry said nearly 200 buildings in the capital, including 77 residential ones, had been left without power as a result of the attack. Coming up in sports, Sabah thrashed Terengganu 4-0 in Super League. Well, there is no cost involved in restoring the pitch of the Bukit Jalil National Stadium, which was damaged after the Coldplay concert on Wednesday. Now, Minister of Youth and Sports, Hannah Yeoh, said this is because there is a nursery site near the stadium with zeonzoysia grass that can be immediately replaced if the pitch surface is damaged.
Itu sebab bila kita buat keputusan untuk menggunakan zeonzoysia, kita juga dalam kos tersebut datang bersama nursery. Jadi bila kita ada rawatan dan pembaikan sekarang, dia tak melibatkan kos kerana nursery itu wujud.
Prior to this, Johor Darul Takzim Football Club owner Tengku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim, who donated zeonzoysia grass for use at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium, uploaded pictures of the condition of the pitch, which appeared damaged in several parts, on his Instagram story. Although Tengku Ismail uploaded the pictures without any captions, social media users expressed frustration and dissatisfaction upon seeing the condition of the pitch. On Wednesday, approximately 85,000 fans flooded the Bukit Jalil National Stadium to witness the concert by Coldplay. Well, Terengganu FC failed to take advantage of playing on home ground when they were thrashed 4-0 by Sabah FC in their Super League match at Stadium Sultan Zainal Abidin or Mizan Zainal Abidin in Kuala Terengganu last night. The visitors took the lead in the 6th minute when imported striker Ramon Machado found the net off a pass from Rizal Ghazali. Well, stung by the goal, the hosts mounted several raids on Sabah's goalmouth and were presented with a good opportunity in the 18th minute. However, Habib Harun's long-range shot sailed over the crossbar. In the 29th minute, the visitors again breached the TFC defense and Sadil Ramdani scored with a powerful shot from outside the penalty box. Miguel Angel Garrido Cifuentes scored the 3rd goal for the Rhinos in the 39th minute. After the interval, Dato' Ong Kim Sui's squad did not take long to widen their lead as substitute Muhammad Jafri Chu connected a cross from Machado to score in the 47th minute. When met after the match, Terengganu head coach Tomislav Steinbrockner attributed the absence of 4 key defence players as the reason for the team's heavy defeat to Sabah. Meanwhile, Sabah FC head coach Dato' Ong Kim Sui said the ability of his men to take advantage of every opportunity enabled the Rhinos to win in style and go home with 3 points. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo netted 2 goals as he led Al Nassr to a 3-0 win over Al Ukhdud in the Saudi Pro League earlier today. Though the Portuguese goal scorer also had an early chance that went just wide of the right post. Midfielder Sami Al-Najjay was first on the board for Al Nassr, scoring from close range in the 13th minute. In the second half, Ronaldo was perfectly positioned to clean up a rebound and fire in a nice shot to double the lead in the 77th. Then, in the 80th, the Al Ukhdud goalkeeper came out to chase down a ball that got loose. Ronaldo quickly recovered the ball and sent a high, lofty shot into a wide open goal. Al Nasser sit second on 34 points, one off leaders Al Hilal, who have a game in hand. Earlier, Steven Gerrard's Al Ettifaq side featuring Jordan Henderson ended the match with a 1-1 draw against Marcelo Gallardo's Al Ittihad team, which included Karim Benzema and Fabinho. Al Ettifaq's Jorginho Wijnaldum scored the opener from close range at the end of the first half at the Abdul Al Dabal Stadium. Early into the second half, Al Ittifaq's Fabinho intercepted the ball as Al Ettifaq were passing out from the back. Fabinho laid the ball off to Abdelrazak Hamdallah, who secured the equalizer with a shot off the crossbar. Al Ittihad are now fourth in the table, while Al Ittifaq are just 2 points behind in seventh. In Ligue 1, Ousmane Dembélé scored his first Paris Saint-Germain goal in stunning fashion as the reigning French champions crushed Monaco 5-2 to cement their lead at the top of the table. Gonzalo Ramos opened the scoring early on for PSG, but a howler by home goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma gifted Takumi Minamino the equalizer soon after. However, Kylian Mbappe's penalty against his former club restored PSG's lead, and two superb goals in the space of 3 second-half minutes by Dembélé and Vitinha put the game out of sight. Folarin Bolagan pulled another back for Monaco, but substitute Randal Kolo Muani put the seal on PSG's win in stoppage time. Paris have now won 7 and drawn 1 of their last 8 Ligue 1 games, and this result moved them 4 points clear of second-place Nice, who are in action on Sunday. Monaco remain third, but are 6 points adrift of the leaders. And in Germany, England striker Harry Kane continued his brilliant Bundesliga form, scoring the winner in Bayern Munich's 1-0 win over Cologne. Kane scored a first half tap-in to give Bayern a 10th win of the season and put them top of the table overnight. The England captain has now scored 22 goals in all competitions since joining Bayern in August and has found the net in each of his last 7 games in all competitions. His latest strike was all Bayern needed as they eased past struggling Cologne with a controlled performance in the second half. The narrow win saw Bayern leapfrog Bayer Leverkusen at the top of the table, with Xabi Alonso's side able to regain top spot when they play Werder Bremen on Saturday. Well, that concludes this edition of Malaysia Tonight. Now, top story, will 2 billion ringgit boost for Madani Community Fund possible in next budget? Till then, I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos, and from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching. Good night.